It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Hardy hosts a show called the 98.5 The Sports Hub Golf Club.
Thank you.
Which is on at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sundays.
98.5 The Golf Club.
7 a.m.
And might as well be 4.
7 a.m. Sundays.
And it's available in podcast form, so you can turn it on and check it out now.
Beaton, is the podcast up? Yes.
It's up.
Okay. And so did you do it live this week?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did it live because it was the PGA.
Yeah.
So you got up in the morning.
Yeah.
You drove in.
No.
You did it from home.
Yes.
Okay. So
connected, using our wonderful technology. George was running the show back here.
Sweet. So Beaton isn't here. He just produces it from a distance.
He's the executive producer. He's got a whole staff.
Now, is he paid for that?
I think it has been explained to Beaton that part of his job is
it's
being
all
the
under
executive
one umbrella
producer of the Sports Hub Golf Club.
Because there's a lot of discussion during the Sports Club.
I believe that it has been explained to Beaton that his job depends on him doing things like the Sports Hub Golf Club. Is that accurate, Beaton?
I would say there's sales attached to this golf club program, so it would make me a little hard to fire with me being involved in sales.
Wow.
What?
Are you selling the show?
No, but the show is sold. So if I'm
they
working
told
on
you
something that
you got to do
sales.
you got to do a lot of work around here, and if you want to keep your job, you also have to produce the golf show.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I was saying.
You're not selling.
I don't know why he's
anything.
invoking sales, but
because it's a money making.
It's a cash
It's
cow.
a cash cow, is what it is.
Okay.
It's people want to be associated with it.
Yes.
So, 1-2 times a year, Hardy will show up in his basement to do the show live.
That's completely inaccurate.
3 times this year.
4.
No, because you're going to be out of town.
Damn it.
3.
3.
I pay attention. So 3 times. So you got 2 of the live ones out of the way. So you can catch Hardy live one more time. And
Well
it will
done.
be the British Open.
The Open Championship.
The British Open.
Open Championship.
So lo and behold, Hardy is live on the air on Sunday morning. And who calls in but our good friend, Fake Blind Scott.
Now, first of all, it's important to note that this is the final segment of the show. From the very beginning, before we even went on the air, the real Blind Scott was on hold.
Oh.
And wanted to call in.
Yeah, I opened up Outlook email on my computer at home, my laptop, and tried to figure out how to get rid of Blind Scott's messages coming in, and it failed me.
Well, I can still help you with that. But during the first segment, I mean, I can't, man. I'm cooking. I'm going through not just, what happened on moving day on Saturday, but I'm going through how did we get to this point? What happened in the first round? Where were the missteps early on that could cost these players a major championship?
It's important
win?
to give the final day some depth.
I'm in it, man. I'm in the zone. So I'm not taking calls in that first segment. We get toward the end of the show, and I hear that Fake Blind Scott is on the line. And I say, okay, bump all other programming. George, who under the tutelage and instruction of Ryan Beaton, running the show back here, I tell George, forget what we were going to bump back with here. Forget about John Rahm and his post-round comments from Saturday. We're going straight to Fake Blind Scott.
George, that's right. Run. Does George put anything about Facebook about being blessed for being on the golf show?
I haven't looked. I just logged on to Facebook for the first time in months. I see a message here from my Aunt Bonnie, who messaged me 3 times in 2 days. Including one that says, still waiting to hear from you. So, but you only had messaged me 3 days before that. This is 2 months ago. I'm going to have to reach out to
You're going to have to deal with Aunt Bonnie. All right,
Yeah,
here
I
we
know.
go.
Welcome back to the Sports Hub Golf Club.
The Sports Hub Golf Club rocking.
Oh yeah. It's
going hard.
This isn't your
on
daddy's
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning golf show.
This is for someone who puts a Bluetooth speaker in their cart when they play and rocks, Pandora's Loverboy list.
Yeah.
Loverboy channel.
Welcome back to the Sports Hub Golf Club. Let's get to the phones here. No, it's not Fred Toucher. It's someone even better. Fake Blind Scott.
Why did you invoke my name?
Because I had mentioned earlier that you were expected to call in, as you were expected to call in on Sunday of Masters weekend and did not.
It's funny. Nothing gets done on this station without me being mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm looming over everything.
No video gets posted. No.
I got
no song gets written.
Oh no, yeah. Don't get me. I don't like that at all. Yeah.
Well, you'll be happy to know all those were deleted smartly. I don't know if it was
set a bit of a precedent.
Anyway,
if we're not going to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it. I don't want to be vague about it, but I didn't think I didn't think any of you would like it either. I was pretty confident in that. All right, here we go.
Fake Blind Scott joining us now on the program this morning. Fake Blind Scott. What's happening this morning?
Good morning, Hottie. I heard you talking about golf, and that reminded me of the time Taylor Gooch threw a punch at me at the Carnoustie Golf and Jumanji Club, right? He was having dinner with a bunch of his golf buddies, and all I did was pat Nick Faldo on his head and tell him what a bunch of whimsical creatures the English are. And all of a sudden, it's sir, please this. And hey, these credentials are forged that. And release Rob Oppenheim's nipples at once, But luckily for me, Jeremiah Xanadu, the private first-class sandskeeper of Kernwood Golf Club and Dock Art Santorium, was there, and he smoothed everything over for me. Yeah. Hey, listen, while I got you here, do you have Fred's door code handy? He changed it again and forgot to tell me the new one, right? Probably because of all the women he gets now.
Right.
He gets more action than an Alabama donkey, right? He is buried in it.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll just wait down here until Fred wakes up.
Okay.
I got the Sunday funnies here, but Beetle Bailey was omitted.
Okay.
No, good. The cops are here to get me into Fred.
Thank you, Blind Scott. I appreciate it. Wow, references to Salem's own Rob Oppenheim, Kernwood Country Club, Fred's door code. Jam-packed call there from Fake Blind Scott as the round 4 of the PGA Championship will be getting underway here shortly.
Yes, be buried in it.
He's buried in it.
Like an Alabama donkey. I'm buried in it.
He even Easter egged with the Beetle Bailey was omitted.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
That's
I didn't even catch that. Good job, 12.
Wow, that is an Easter egg.
That's really
well done,
good.
Adam 12. All right, so while Hardy is doing his, take from a distance of the PGA Tour, John, for one of the dozen or so times this year, drove down to suburban Philadelphia.
Yep.
How long the ride down?
The ride down was about 5.
How long the ride back?
Almost 6. It was bad. Yesterday, I don't know what it is, for whatever reason, no matter what time I come home, when you get off of 84 North to get onto the Mass Pike East, it's a parking lot. And it's a parking lot for about 25 minutes. And at the end of a very long trip, it's kind of annoying a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're getting close to the city. Out at 84, you're still way out there.
I'm 38 miles from my exit when I get onto 84, when I get onto the Pike eastbound from 84. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you go through, how do you get through New York?
I go 84 south to the Merritt and then over the Tappan Zee Bridge into New Jersey.
Okay. And so I can imagine that at times is an issue.
The Merritt is a coin flip when you get to the southern end of it, yes.
Yes.
When did you drive down on Friday?
We left Thursday right after work. So Thursday about 11-ish.
Yeah, and it's good.
In
Philadelphia is a good place to drive through because you're going through 2 of the, 3 if you count Boston, 3 of the largest metropolitan areas in the country.
That's smart. See, you're rolling through you're going over the Tappan Zee at about 2-3 in the afternoon, and then you're rolling into Philadelphia about 4. The traffic isn't bad.
Well, I can tell you, getting to Groton, and I have to go to Groton again today, and that can take upwards of an hour and 40 minutes. So I can only imagine, going through not only Boston, but then New York and then Philadelphia. But in fairness, John doesn't have to go through Philadelphia because he goes to a house that's 20 miles outside.
Yes, we go around Philadelphia. Philadelphia traffic, not a problem.
Yeah.
Smart.
Not a problem. And we got around New York, timed it just right, got around New York before it got bad.
So John and his wife have been having problems, so they said, we got to do something romantic. And
It was a getaway, yes.
So they decided to go to Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. They said, let's go down to Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. We all know about it. We've all dreamed of going to Aeronimic Golf Club.
Aeronimic.
Sure. However you want to say it. And we all dreamed of going there, the hallowed grounds. And so John went down there with his beautiful bride, and they kicked it around the golf club for a couple
Now, did you
days.
buy tickets for this one, or were they too expensive like the Wimbledon tickets, and you had to stand in line on Friday morning and try and get standing room?
They were given to us by my father-in-law for our anniversary. We just had our wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Everything a freebie with you. Okay, so you were given those, and so you go down, and do you sleep in the same bedroom at the house, or do you sleep in separate beds? Do you sleep on a couch?
We slept in the same bed.
Ooh.
Same bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to be married until they would allow that?
They did. They were kind of lax on those rules. Thank goodness.
He's still giving you gifts for your. You've been married for a long time.
Yes, 19 years.
I think the proximity to their house is probably what was the idea, the germ of the idea.
It just seems
I prefer to think of it as a thoughtful gift, Fred.
No, I think that he probably went, oh, yeah, they like boring things. There's something happening right by our house.
It just seems odd that a father-in-law would be giving anniversary gifts. Like my father-in-law, while he was alive, he made it to the wedding, which I thought was nice of him. But I'm sure if when pressed afterward, he wouldn't be able to tell you, when we got married or when the anniversary was.
That's weird because the big thing that I had to eat after the divorce was not getting the big anniversary gifts for my in-laws. That was the one thing that's been the most difficult to deal with.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it just got grander and grander every year.
Is it part of an ongoing dowry that he is
No.
paying off?
No,
Was this a special anniversary?
No, it's number 19, so there's nothing special about 19.
Well, there is something special
19.
about all of them.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
All right. So you went down there and you drove and then you stayed at their home?
Yes. And then we went to the tournament. I'm not usually a stick around for 8 hours type of guy at a tournament, but we had a great time.
At your in-laws.
Right. We had a great time. Did
you go to the driving range?
Did not. Got there at 7:45 in the morning, so that was past driving range time. We wanted to see the action on the course. We got there at 7:45.
Past driving range time. That's peak driving range time.
I apologize. If only you were there, Hardy, to guide me in my endeavors, but you were not. So I kind of muddled through. Posted up on the 10th green. Saw a lot of star power groups come through. Scotty Scheffler on that Friday missed a hole-in-one by about 1.5 feet. I was there to watch that on 17 on Friday. And saw a bunch of guys play. Xander Schauffele hit a drive about 350 yards on the third hole. Piped it right down the middle of the fairway. I was standing there.
Did you get a
landed.
stipend from your in-laws so you could enjoy food and beverage at the course?
Food and beverage was free for everybody, not just me. It was really strange.
Is there per diem?
No. At you walk into these two different places where you could get the food, hot dogs, hamburgers, and stuff like that.
These were nice passes you got then.
No. It was for everybody, passes or no passes. Free food and beverage.
What were the lines like for that?
Long, very long,
Yeah.
but they moved quickly.
Okay, and was it free beer?
No, beer and any alcohol you wanted, like at least $15 to $20.
Okay, but how come it was free food?
I don't know the
That's
answer to that.
interesting.
It was weird. You'd walk in and you'd take all your stuff, and then you'd turn around and look for the cashier, and there was no cashier. Just
Are you
walked
sure
out.
you weren't stealing?
Positive.
Okay, you
Positive.
double-checked?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you say you camped behind the 10th green.
Yes, right next to the stands, right on the rope too. We got a good spot.
Did you walk the golf course?
Yes,
Put that around your neck.
For the most part. We
In its entirety?
not in its entirety, but we saw 2/3 of the holes walking around.
Did you wear a GPS watch so that you could also have yardage when you were standing next to players and see what?
No.
You think I'm joking?
No, I don't. That's why I laughed.
You wear your golf watch when you go to a golf tournament, and then you pull up the course it's being contested, and that way you get accurate yardages, so you can look and say, "Oh, he's like 215 away. He's got a 6-iron. My God, he's better jump on this."
What? Do you dress up when you go to golf tournaments? Golf shoes and like a golf shirt. I saw that a lot. That was a little weird. You're not playing. Why are you wearing golf slides?
Traction.
Those people will say it's for traction,
No,
but it's not. Then they shouldn't do it.
That was a lot of strange. That was very weird.
Well, just keep your personal life to yourself.
Yeah, was there a lot of strange floating around?
Now, did you buy Hardy any memorabilia?
Actually, and he'll confirm this, I asked before I left. I say, "Do you want me to get you anything?" And Hardy said, "No, I have to go to the event in order to get a souvenir like that."
Yeah, I don't want anything. Now, the Masters was different. Before I went, Schneeks brought me back a hat a couple of times because he goes every year. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a Masters hat. That I will gladly accept.
You have like
that's the
6
rule.
Masters hats, right?
I think I'm more than that. But no, it was very nice of John to offer, but I did not take him up on that.
It would be nice if he just got you something and brought it in.
Yeah, like a ball marker or something.
Or just at least something about the Aeronymous Golf Club.
Aeronymous.
Just something that like was proof that you could at least lie to your friends and say you've been to the Aeronymous Golf Club.
And maybe even lie a little bit and say, I was the one who didn't see a hole in one. That was John's big story.
But so close.
He just missed. It's a hell of a shot.
I love...
What did you see? Not a hole in one. It was awesome.
You just camp out right there on the green, and the balls about every 20 minutes just go right there on the green.
That's why you got to walk the course with your watch.
And you're still
With the watch.
Either way, it sounds like a lot of fun. All right. Well, John, I'm glad you went. The in-laws are well, I take it.
They are. They all say hello.
What did the boys do while you and the wife were at the tournament?
Boys stayed with friends up here in Boston.
Oh, they're old enough. They could have stayed by themselves.
It was 16, so not
that's-
quite. No, we didn't.
All right.
No.
Even with 2 of them?
Yeah. Even with 2 of them.
Okay.
I got one who would leave the door unlocked when he left the house. Just randomly.
Well, he can't do
that.
that in Natick, especially with your estate.
That's right.
3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No. No. No.
All right.
How old were you when your parents left you alone for the first time when they left?
Well, I had no older sister, but I don't know. I was probably 10 or 11, and she was 14, maybe.
Yeah, I think 14 was the first time my parents...
3 nights alone in the house?
To be honest with you, I don't remember.
I don't think they ever took a trip together of that length.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Yeah, it's not like my parents were like, zooming around the world, but I was left alone.
Yeah.
And I was an only child, and I was left alone. In huge parties. Real
Hell
shindigs.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Ian Browne will talk about the very exciting Red Sox season that's going gangbusters. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Ticket not punched.
Hardy.
No, the ticket's not punched.
Fred.
You got a bunch of stuff wrong when you talk. So much for this country.
Dutcher and Hardy.
This country's a bunch of buffoons that don't know the rules.
You idiot. The Sports Hub.
Based on, like we always said, we're going to base it on the bullpen, and if we're going to try to stay away from some lefties that are kind of overused, it didn't make sense to just throw another righty. So it was his game, and he just didn't have a great win. That's all right.
Ian Browne is the supervising club reporter from MLB.com. He covers the Red Sox. He's been doing so for a long time. Ian Browne, thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, good to be on with you guys. How you doing?
Appreciate it. All right. So Meyer is said that he is going to start working at shortstop. Is this something that you see happening?
Yeah, I mean, assuming Trevor Story's going to be out like
say, a month or longer. I think it makes sense for this team to put Meyer at shortstop. It's his natural position. Sometimes you put guys where they're most comfortable. They hit better. You've seen it before. So I think that you will see that happen. It's going to take maybe a week or so for him to work out there and regain his comfort there. But, yeah, I think that is something that's going to happen.
And once he's there, will he stick?
Well, we'll see what happens with Trevor, too, once he's healthy. So a lot up in the air right now. Obviously, Trevor Story's struggled quite a bit. Was that anything health-related or so I think, I don't know if he'll stick right now. We'll see. All depends on how long Trevor Story's out. But he'll stick for a while because I do think Trevor Story's going to be out for a while with this injury.
Is that wise, though, to keep moving a kid you're counting on like that around? Like if you put him at shortstop and he does fairly well, wouldn't the conventional wisdom be to keep him there and then just like now he's our shortstop and just get him comfortable in that position?
Yeah, and you could say to Trevor, look, you're just coming back from a serious injury here. Maybe we'll take some of the burden off you and have you play second base. So, we'll see how all that goes. Trevor Story, don't forget, played an excellent second base for this team in 2022, his first year with the team. So it's too early to say what they're going to do. But if Meyer just takes shortstop and runs with it and then starts hitting like he can hit, then I agree it's going to be tough to take him off there. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out in the next few weeks.
You mentioned hitting. That's not something this team does much of. And all year long, it doesn't seem to matter. You could pick the lineup out of a hat. Why has this happened? I mean, they have three of the worst hitters in Major League Baseball before Story got hurt, playing every single day. Why has all of this happened to this team?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this in all my years covering baseball. A team that you look every day in the 6th, 7th inning, and they have 3 hits, and they have 1 or 2 runs, and they're going on 8 games now where they scored 3 runs or less. Why it's happened? I mean, they don't have the one big dog that you like to have in the middle of the lineup, or it's in the lineup. I think they thought going into the year that was going to be Roman Anthony. A lot of pressure, obviously, to put on a 21-year-old kid. But yeah, they changed they fired Alex Cora and they changed the whole hitting group, thinking that maybe a new coaching staff would ignite the offense. But they just don't have a lot of big time hit. I think one hitter could really change this whole lineup. If you go out and trade for a real impact hitter, sometimes that can change a whole lineup. So they're just missing the guy. You know what I mean? Like that's why I thought that Pete Alonso should have been their top priority going into this offseason, because that could just takes a little pressure off everyone. But now everyone's trying a little too hard. Jaron Duran is one guy. He's shown some signs of life lately, but he's really got to be the guy that gets this offense going right now. Hopefully they get Roman Anthony back, I think, by the end of the week. But, yeah, it's been tough to watch, believe me.
Did they really think that the coaching change, not just with Cora, but with other people on the staff, was somehow going to ignite the offense? Because I think you kind of said it. They're lacking the guy or the guys that have the requisite skills in order to be that offensive presence in the lineup. Did they truly believe that somehow just changing the coaching and who was coaching them up at batting practice was going to fix anything?
I just think they thought it was so bad that some change might help, and it was obviously a miscalculation. We're seeing now that this had nothing to do with Pete Fatsi, the former hitting coach, and his lieutenants. This was not on them. This was kind of on a lineup that's how many people said going into the year, how are they going to score? How are they going to hit home runs with this lineup? And everyone said it, and now we're seeing it play out, and now it's like it's almost on them to fix it. They have to go out and find some way to revive this offense, and it's not, especially the coaches they have, they're not established major league coaches. These are all guys that are kind of filling in right now. So it just it didn't seem like a good plan here. I understand why you change managers sometimes just to spark the team, and whether you liked Alex Cora or not. And, I didn't think he was the problem either, but I can see why you make that change, but I thought it was excessive to make the amount of changes they did to the coaching staff 1 month into the season, because it takes guys out of their comfort zone even further. So now they're trying to get used to new hitting coaches, and there's just a lot of change at once.
For the most part, the pitching has been good, and that's something that this club was supposed to lean on. But I'm watching Brayan Bello yesterday, and when he has an opener, the last 2 times he was out there before this one, he was fine, and then they ask him to start a game, and he's terrible. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I was a little uneasy with them making that switch, because it's almost like if it's not broke, don't fix it type of thing. And he was really good his last 2 times coming out. And I remember we saw this with Nick Pivetta in 2023, where he was really struggling, came out of the rotation, and then they kind of did the same thing and made him kind of the bulk innings. And he had a dominant few months there, just coming out of the bullpen and being the 6 or 7 inning guy out of the bullpen. So it can change your mindset. Their reasoning was that their lefties had been overworked lately, so they couldn't afford to use them as an opener. I think it's flawed a little bit, because why not just try like a Zach Kelly or someone like that? It's only one. I know the Braves are loaded with lefties at the top of their lineup, but why not try a Zach Kelly or someone like that for 1 inning and just see if you can get by and keep Bello in that attack mode he had been in as a reliever. Is that the reason he struggled? I don't know. But, just don't mess with something that's working. So, we'll see what's going to happen there. The bigger story is what's going to happen to Bello when Crochet comes back, and I think Crochet will be back between 10 days and 2 weeks at most. And at this point, it looks like, Brayan Bello is probably going to be opted to AAA if these other guys in the rotation keep pitching the way they are.
Yeah, John said not to trade him last week. So, so you said it. The idea was Roman Anthony's 21 was going to be your linchpin in this offense, which conventional baseball wisdom, this is not the conventional baseball wisdom would be to say that's a bad idea for numerous reasons. The amount of pressure you're putting on the kid is generally teams don't like to do that. B, you've spent money on this team and you've made moves to improve in the offseason, and yet you're still relying on a 21-year-old kid to be the linchpin of the offense. Conventional wisdom would tell you that's not a good idea. So, again, I come back to, if this organization is so buttoned up and everything is down, to the letter, and everything is run on advanced metrics and things of that nature, what is the excuse for just going against all this conventional wisdom and having it not work out? At what point does this model that they're working with, do they go, oh, the model's wrong?
Yeah. See, I think what happened was the metrics are the problem here, and they fooled them, and that they weren't looking at the human side enough. Like, oh, what is taking Alex Bregman away from this lineup going to do to these guys emotionally? They were counting on him as their leader. They maybe had models that had guys hitting more than they're hitting right now, and they were just looking at it more from a computer standpoint. How many runs are we going to score? Not looking at, everyone's going to be putting a lot of pressure on themselves, trying to do too much because we don't have that big established star in the middle of the lineup. The guy they traded almost a year ago, Rafael Devers, a guy like that, and they still haven't replaced him. So I think that the metrics are what got them into this mess, and they just have to find a way out of it now, because computers aren't going to fix this. They're going to need to find somebody who can actually hit the baseball and be a run producer and be someone other teammates can kind of look to kind of carry them a little bit in this offense, because that guy just doesn't exist on this team right now.
And it's weird because Breslow played for a long time, so you would think that he was aware that humans play the game. And I'm not being flippant. I mean, there is human error, and there is emotion, and there is things like pressure, and there is things like, when you're losing, just an attitude. I mean, these are things you can see at any level of any sport. I mean, there is all this. But is he just going along with what the organization wants to do, or is Breslow really dug in and believes that this is the way to operate this team.
No, I think Craig Breslow is running this front office right now. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And you look at one thing. I mean, who thought Jaron Duran was going to be hitting 180? Right now. So I think that's one guy that you could have reasonably expected to be doing a lot better. Breslow thought that Caleb Durbin was going to be a much bigger contributor than he is. That hasn't worked. We all saw what Trevor Story did, whether it was injury or not. He was kind of a shell of what he was last year. So. Again, projections.
If these were kids, I get it.
Yeah,
but they're not. Yeah. And that's the thing is that a kid, you believe in them, and you see in the drive line or whatever the hell else you're using, and you go, all right. But then you want to put them in a position where you can kind of make them comfortable and let them learn at a major league level. Figure out the major league. You give them that kind of grace. You're talking about guys veterans, guys. I mean, yeah, okay. So it's not your problem, but okay. So they thought Duran would hit better. They thought Durbin would hit better. Well, they're not. So something is. I'm just wondering when they go, or John Henry goes, if he cares, and he goes, hey guys. The fact of the matter is what you're doing has not worked, and it's not working. So this is not the way that we're operating this team anymore. And that's just going to be an interesting point to see when they get to that.
Just be good business to look at it that way.
Well, can you admit this doesn't work? I know it says it's supposed to, but the fact is, which is the fact and reality is what we have to deal with, it's not working.
Well, one thing this ownership hasn't been afraid of doing in the last 7 to 8 years is change philosophies, change direction, change personnel. We've all seen it. We know kind of some of the instability that's happened with the front office here over the last many years. So these owners, say what you want about them, they do not like to lose and be embarrassed.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, so it is going to be. I agree. We're in for if this team doesn't bounce out of this, what's going to be the fallout?
Watch, they bring in like Earl Weaver. They just bring in some crazy old school baseball guy.
What's the Major League Baseball equivalent of John Tortorella?
Just bring in some nerds. Bruno, this. All right,
Jim Leland.
Yeah, exactly. Just have them ripping butts. Ian Browne, thank you so much. Read him at MLB.com, and we'll be interesting to see how this all works out. Thank you, Ian.
All right, great to be on with you guys.
All right, appreciate it. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines.
My buddy with friends like these,
to climb up a tree. We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy, and it's funny how the world works sometimes. We just got an email. So, obviously, golf, like whatever. I just like making fun of it because Hardy loves it so much. And John was at
That's mean.
Yeah, that's the idea, to make you miserable. So I was, John was at the PGA Championship, and I was joking around. How do you pronounce the guy's name that won it?
Rye.
Aaron Rye. So I was joking, I just hope he can deal with the fame. Well, I got sent an Athletic article, and this is pretty, at least ironic. Aaron Rye sat in his parked rental car on Sunday night for 30 additional minutes, hashing out the day's events before retiring for the evening, before letting his head hit the pillow on the eve of what would become the most consequential round of his life. He turned to his wife, who has a name that I can't pronounce. The soon-to-be PGA champion expressed a worry that she'd never heard before. Quote, "Sometimes I feel that the things around me are going to change too much if I do something too crazy." Rye feared the summit. When the journeyman pro from the English Midlands envisioned the climactic career
climactic.
moment.
If you're good,
climactic career moment, he saw not just a trophy, but also the newfound fame, attention, and demands on his time.
Yeah.
The things that come with the pinnacle of this profession scared him.
It's going to be
because
buried in
he
it.
worried that in the process of it all, he might lose himself.
Yeah.
It's going to be too much.
I felt the same way when I started hosting the Sports Hub Golf Club. I said, how is this going to change me?
Well, you're kind of a gatekeeper, so the kid's got a little, don't rush him into the fold too much.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Which is why I think it was good that it started at 6 a.m. initially. It kept me grounded, and it was kind of like a slow burn of the fame and riches that came with it.
So the next major is the U.S. Open?
Correct.
Okay, so maybe on the Sports Hub Golf Club, don't push the Rye narrative too much going into the U.S. Open. Don't put too much pressure on the kid.
No, you know what? I hadn't even thought of that. And see, you listen and enjoy the show more than you let on, because that probably would have been my inclination to kind of go in that. Let's see if he can back up what he's done already. No, let's not put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, focus on the guys who can take it, like Chris Gottenerp or Harris English, like these guys. Focus on the guys that have experienced.
It's a big
it.
ask for Harris, but okay, I understand.
All right, well, listen, if we're going to talk about Rocco Hoey, then we're going to do it. All right. But how funny is that? I was joking around sarcastically about how, like, oh no, I hope the kid can take this. It's the fame that comes with winning the PGA is going to be overwhelming. Now, I do understand that winning a major in golf is a great accomplishment if you're a golfer, and I understand the amount of pressure on you when you're in the act of winning the major.
Are you saying that Aaron Rye will still be able to walk down the streets and not be bombarded with fans asking for photos and autographs?
New York City, Saturday night, Times Square, Scotty Scheffler, arguably the best golfer in the world.
Yes.
2 people might say hello to him. He's okay.
I don't know. He's tall.
Well, who would know? Aaron Rye is okay. Aaron Rye will be okay. I don't think the demands on his time. Now, when he goes back to the Midlands, to his hometown, I'd imagine people give him a pat on the back. But I'd imagine being a professional golfer already gave him a taste of local fame. I mean, if a professional golfer is from the neighborhood you're from, I would assume that there is some talk of that person, as they have a unique profession.
There were some interesting guys in that mix who have flirted with fame and could have been like recognizable guys. I would say Cam Smith, who was the guy who won the Open Championship not long ago. He looks like the Weasel from Ice Age. Mm-hmm. He's kind of got the mullet thing going.
Okay.
But as soon as he won, like the day after he won the Open Championship.
He did it too.
He went to live.
Yeah, and then it's like you just
you could have been, if what you were after was like fame and notoriety, you just blew it up, because now no one's gonna know you or see you again unless you're on the first page of a leaderboard at a major championship, which he was yesterday.
The interesting thing about the live is that for me is like because like they got like a just ridiculous amount of money. But it's not like on the PGA Tour you're not making a lot of money. But my thing is that you dreamt your whole life of being on the PGA Tour. It really speaks a lot to like where people's heads are at when you are living your dream, and someone goes, I know you're making like John Rahm, like you're making. How much do you think John Rahm makes a year? Just real quick, approximately
$50 million.
What when he was on PGA?
20.
Okay. You're making $20 million. You're living your dream. These tournaments that you grew up like this, that you wanted to be like the best golfer in the world. Like this was your dream. And you are making more money than generational wealth that will span, much longer than your kids are even alive. And you go, but I'll give you more money to do something like tangentially related to this, not anything you grow up wanting, and you'll be pretty much playing in obscurity. And they go, okay, couldn't you see not doing that?
Yeah.
I could see not going, no, I'm fine. I'm doing my dream.
Right. It made sense for like the much lower guys.
Sure.
So there's this guy he's been on the Sports Hub Golf Club, no big deal. His name is Brendan Steele. Also a big fan of and would do podcasts with music guys like the dudes from like Linkin Park. He was like a pretty grounded, pretty like solid dude. He had won, I don't know, twice on the PGA Tour in 20 years. He was not getting filthy rich off the PGA Tour. He was getting by on making cuts and, just this journeyman if there ever was one. LIV came to him. I don't know what they offered him, but let's say it was $10 million.
It's life-changing money.
Life-changing. It's like, okay, now I don't have to worry about this for the next
It's a completely different thing. It's a completely different thing. But if you were like succeeding on the PGA Tour and you didn't have to worry about making cuts and stuff like that, it's almost it's just it shows like a lack of character. Like it really does. Like I don't understand. And now it's all blowing up on them. Now they have their money. But they're not living their dream.
Yeah, and they've wasted years. Presumably where they would have been in their prime. And golf is where they can come back and you can have a second. You can have a second act in golf for sure. But a lot of guys don't. Most guys don't.
Of course, most guys don't. It's very rare. I mean, it's a big story when you do. All right, we'll be back. Don't worry. We got Eddie Trunk stuff. So everyone, don't tune away. I'll get excited. Don't worry.